So hello everyone. In this particular video presentation, I am Mrs. Archana Priyadarshan, Assistant Professor in the Department of ISC, Canara Engineering College. You will see the concept of extremal elements in posits. So in the last presentation, you have seen what is a posit or a partial order along with the Hayes diagram. Here, let's look into the extremal elements in posits. The extremal elements in posits. So basically by this definition, you know that we have to consider what is called as a posit, right? You have to consider what a posit is. So let's consider a posit, so which is in the form A, R, that is the set A was over the relation R. So what can we say about the extremal elements? So we have got what is called as a maximal element. Okay, we have got what is called as a minimal element, and then we have got a greatest element and a least element. Along with this, we see some other concept that is related to finding the upper bound of the subset B of A, finding the lower bound of the subset B of A, okay, finding the least upper bound of subset B of A, and finding the greatest lower bound of subset B of A. So we will see all these terms, and these are nothing but the extremal elements of a posit. So we are going to look into each one of them in detail along with some examples. Okay, the first concept is about finding the maximal element. Okay, let me draw a graph Hayes diagram and show you clearly what exactly is a maximal element. So let's take this Hayes diagram. So in this Hayes diagram, you find that 1 is related to 2, okay, vice versa. Here the relationship is comes in this upper fashion, that is, you are going to consider the edges which are related upwards. So 1 is related to 2, 2 is related to 4, it means that 1 is related to 4, like that. Okay. Now you find that 5 and 6 are the great top elements, and what we according to this Hayes diagram, 5 is the maximal as well as greatest. What we can say, 5 is the 5 and 6 are the maximal elements. Now we are talking about maximal elements. Here 5 and 6 are the maximal elements in this Hayes diagram. So, and 1 is your minimal element. So what is maximal element? So an element A belongs to the set. So here the set A consists of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. So an element A belongs to A is called as a maximal element of A if there exists no element X does not belong to A, okay, such that A related to X. That means we still we do not have any further edges corresponding to any other vertices. That is the meaning of this maximal element. So an element A belongs to A is called as a maximal element if there exists no other element, let's say X, which is not equal to A in the set, such that A is related to X. So we find that no edges are coming out of these 5 and 6. Therefore 5 and 6 are the maximal elements here. Okay. So next, coming to definition of minimal element. minimal element A, we call A belongs to A is a minimal element. If there exists no element, okay, if there exists no element X does not belong to A in A such that X related to A. That is, here according to the example, 1 is the minimal element. So this is, let's take this as A, which is belonging to the set A itself, and we know that this A belongs to A is called as a minimal element if there exists no element X not equal to A in A, so that X related to A. That means I do not have any other edge which reaches that particular element. So according to in this particular edge diagram, 1 is the minimal element because I do not find any edge that is terminating to this A or to this 1. Okay, therefore 1 is the minimal element. So I'll repeat, an element A belongs to A, so it is called as minimal element of A. If there exists no element X does not belong to A in A such that X related to R. So the next concept is about the greatest element. So an element A belongs to A is called as the greatest element of A if X related to A for all X belong to A. Okay, that means, so when can we say a particular element is the greatest element? Okay, when can we say the particular element is the greatest element is the each and every element, that is, if there is any edge, okay, there is any edge reaching that vertex. So you can observe here the two ends are open, right? Two ends are open. We cannot conclude which is the greatest element, right? Because even 5 should be related to 6. If I want to say it is the greatest element, that is the definition. All the elements must be related to that topmost element if I want to consider that as a greatest element. But here we find the edges open and there is no relation between, there is a relation between each and everything but except 5, right? So according to the definition of greatest element, an element A belongs to A is called as greatest element if X related to that greatest element, but here there is no connection between 5 and 6. Therefore, there is no greatest element in this diagram. So if X related to A, for all X belongs to A. Okay. So according to this graph, there is no greatest element. But if I consider this graph, that is, if I take this Hayes diagram, let's change the Hayes diagram to 5, 3, 4, 2, and let's say this is 1. So here all elements are related to this element, is it not? Therefore this is the greatest element as well as the maximal element. So according to the definition of greatest element, each and every element in the set must be related to that element. So therefore 5 is the greatest element. According to definition of maximal element, what is the definition of maximal element? Whenever we select that maximal element, there should not be any further edges coming out of that particular element, and therefore we can consider that as a maximal element. That is, there should not be any element which is not equal to A, so that particular element may have some relation to some other points. That is, there is an edge. Okay, if there is an edge, further edge over from here, then we cannot consider them as a maximal element. But since this is the highest, we say that this is the maximal as well as the greatest element. Okay, 5 is the maximal as well as the greatest element. Next, if we take about minimal element, that means according to definition of minimal element, there should not be any edge that is terminating or reaching that particular point. According to this Hayes diagram, 1 is termed as the minimal element because I do not find any edge reaching the vertex 1, right? Therefore, 1 is called as the minimal element. And what we can say about the least element is the concept of least element. So now we are covering this fourth concept. We have already completed studying these three concepts with the help of an example. So we'll see what is the least element. What is meant by least element? So an element A, okay, which belongs to that particular set A is called as the least element of A if A related to X. If A related to X for all X belongs to A. That means if I have got a graph like this 5, 3, 4, 2, 1. So if I take this as if I consider this as the least element, so this must be related to all the elements in the graph. Only then I can say this is the least element. Got it? So an element A belongs to the set A. Obviously this set consists of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and this element A which is there in A, it is the least element if A is related to X. X is all those elements. 1 is related to 2, right? 1 is related to 3, 1 is related to 4, 1 is related to 5. So this should be related to all the elements in the set. Then we can call it as a least element. So that is the definition. For here, according to this example, 1 is the least element. So next, coming to the upper bound. Okay, we'll talk about the upper bound of subset B. Okay, upper bound of subset B of A. So we are taking a subset B of A. So to illustrate this example, let me take this hash diagram. So this is 3, this is 5 and this is 7, this is 8. So let's take this hash diagram. 4 is related to 7, 5 is related to 6 and then 1 is related to 3 and 2 is related to 3. So this is a hash diagram now. So let's consider this hash diagram and decide what should be the upper bound of subset B of A. Okay. So we can say that a particular element, an element A which is in the set A is called as an upper bound of the subset B of A if X related to A for all X belongs to B. So if I take this set as, this portion as B, okay, and this is our A. So find out whether all these elements, these are X, okay, these are X. And to consider an upper bound of the subset B, that is from here onwards, I am going to consider the upper bound of the subset B. Okay, this is a subset B. What is the upper bound of subset B? Okay, so the upper bound is, you can observe 1 is related to 3 and 2 is related to 3. So 3 is the upper bound of this set B. Okay, likewise we find that all these are also upper bounds of this set. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 all are upper bounds of set B, subset B, correct? And if you want, so this is the concept of upper bound, that is an element X must be related to A, okay, A wherein we say that that particular element is the upper bound of subset B, that is, so you can consider the upper bound as from 3 onwards, right? From 3 onwards we can say it is an upper bound. So how we can take this as A? So we consider this as an element A belongs to A if X related to A, that is 3 should be related to all the elements in the upper bound. You can observe 3 is related to 4, 3 is related to 6, 3 is related to 8, 3 is related to 5, 3 is related to 7, right? So if this element, okay, there is a relation from all the elements to this element, then we can say that that particular element is an upper bound. Okay, upper bound. So here 3 is an upper bound, likewise 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 is also an upper bound. Next, coming to the concept of lower bound. We will talk about lower bound with an example. So lower bound of the subset B of A. When can we call the lower bound of subset B of A? That is, if A related to X for all X belongs to B. Okay, we can say an element A belongs to A is called as a lower bound if A related to X. Okay, if A related to X for all X belongs to B. So, which can I consider as a lower bound? So, that element must be related to all the elements. That must be related to all the elements in the set. For example, you can observe that the lower bounds of subset B, the lower bound. So, this is the least element, and you can find that when we consider the lower bound, so which is the lower bound? See, the upper bounds of 3 will be related to all the elements. Okay, and this 3 is the least upper bound in the set B, right? Least upper bound. From this again the connection goes, right? This is least upper bound, and we find that to find out the lower bounds of that particular set, it is actually not possible, because that in order to say it is a lower bound, that element must be related to all the elements in the set. Okay, that element must be related. We consider the least upper bound as A is we consider it as 3, and 3 is the upper bound of B, and there will be other elements which are upper bound of B such that 3 should be related to all the other upper bounds. So, you can observe that from 3 there is a connection to all the elements in the upper bound range, right? Therefore, we can say that 3 is the least upper bound of set B. That is, LUB of B is nothing but 3. Least upper bound of set B is 3. So, coming to the next concept, that is the concept of greatest lower bound. Okay, greatest lower bound. So, what is this greatest lower bound? The greatest lower bound of subset B of A is greatest lower bound of subset B of A is we can say that a particular element A belongs to A is called as the greatest lower bound if the two conditions are satisfied, that is, A is the lower bound of B, okay, and A dash is the lower bound of B, then A dash related to A. So, under these conditions we can say that the greatest lower bound, that particular element is the greatest lower bound. So, let us take an example. Let us say we have got this Hayes diagram. So, this is the Hayes diagram. Okay. Now, we are supposed to find out the greatest lower bound of B2. Okay. So, among the lower bounds, these are all the lower bounds. They are in the lower positions. Okay. 1, 2, 3. These refer to the lower bounds of B2. If you take this as B2, okay. These are the lower bounds. Among this, we need to consider a particular element that is the greatest lower bound, okay, in such a way that all other elements are related to itself. That means 1 is related to 3, 2 is related to 3, right? 3 is itself related to 3. So, obviously 3 is the greatest lower bound. We can say that the greatest lower bound of B2 is 3, right? And we have got several properties, that is, the facts are, if A comma R is a poset, okay, and A is a finite set, then A has at least one maximal element and at least one minimal element. Okay, so this is the fact. If you have got a poset and it is the set is a finite set, that set will have at least one maximal element and one minimal element. The second fact and theorem which can be proved is every poset, okay, has at most one greatest element, has at most one greatest element and at most one least element. And the third fact is, if A comma R is a poset and B is the subset of A, then B has at most one least upper bound and at most one greatest lower bound. Okay, these are the facts. Let's take a question. Given the Hayes diagram, we need to calculate all the upper bounds as well as lower bound and so on. Okay, so this is the Hayes diagram, G, H, and here we have got F, D, it is related to D and E, and C is related to D and E. Likewise, A is related to C and B is related to C. So this is the Hayes diagram, and they have given you the set B, that is CDE. Okay, you have to find out all the upper bounds of B, okay, all the lower bounds of B, then the least upper bound of B as well as the greatest lower bound. So let's calculate them. So we know that B is CDE, right? CDE, this is your B. So what are the upper bounds of this B? So we know that F, G, H, okay, all of them are related to CDE, right? And all of these constitute the upper bounds. So F, G and H are the upper bounds. So that is the answer to the first question. Coming to the next question. Next question, we have to find out all the lower bounds. You can observe that A and B are related to all the elements C, D and E. Therefore, A, B, C also, they are called the lower bounds. So the answer to the second question is A, B and C. Okay, A, B, C are the lower bounds of B. Next, if you want to find out the least upper bound, which is the least upper bound of CD, you can observe that is connected to F, and from F then there onwards. So F is the least upper bound of set B. So the answer is F for the third question. In the last question, you have to find out the greatest lower bound. So you can observe that A is related to C, B is related to C. So C is the greatest lower bound of B. So you should know all the definitions while giving the answer to this question. Okay, let's say you are given another problem wherein the Hayes diagram is given as F, G, this is your E, and C, D, A, okay, and here you have got B. So this is the Hayes diagram given. They have asked you to find out the least upper bound and greatest lower bound of the set B given as CDE. Okay, this is your set B. You are supposed to find out the least upper bound. So what is the least upper bound of this set? You know that E is connected to F and G. All these are upper bounds, and E is related to all these elements. Therefore, E is the least upper bound. Least upper bound is E. So next is to find out the greatest lower bound. How do you find out the greatest lower bound? C and D must be related to all the elements below. But which is is C and D related to any element? Are both of them related to any element? Yes, they are related to A, but you can observe that it is not related to B, right? So the greatest lower bound is A. Okay, so according to the definition, you must know that we should select such an element so that that element is related to or it is related by other elements to that particular element. So that is definition of greatest lower bound. So you can observe that C and D are related to that element, and we are choosing that element to be the greatest lower bound, whereas we cannot consider B because B is not related to C. Okay, the greatest lower bound is A. Next, coming to the definition of lattice. So what exactly is this lattice? Let A, R pair be a poset. Okay, so this poset is called as a lattice if for all x, y belongs to set A, the elements least upper bound of x, y and greatest lower bound of x, y, they exist. So these must exist for a particular set. Least upper bound as well as the greatest lower bound must exist for a particular set from the poset. So let's take an example. Let's say we have got a poset whose Hayes diagram is given by 5, 3, 4, 2. Okay. So this is the Hayes diagram for a poset. Now by examining this Hayes diagram, we find out the greatest lower bound of 3, 4. Greatest lower bound of 3, 4. What is the greatest lower bound of 3, 4? Does it exist? We can observe that 1 is related to 3 and 4. Similarly, 2 is related to 3 and 4. Okay. So, we do not have any element that is related to both of them, right? So, for example, here B is related to D and A is related to C and A is related to D, right? So, according to the definition of greatest lower bound, it is nothing but for a particular subset. Okay, we can select that as a lower bound of B if other elements are related to itself. For example, C and D are related to A. Okay, and we cannot consider B because C is not related to B. Fine. Just if we take the Hayes, in this particular Hayes diagram, the greatest lower bound of 3, 4 does not exist. Right? Therefore, this poset is not a lattice. So, in order to prove that it should be a lattice, both the properties should be served. That is least upper bound. Okay, least upper bound we have it over here, right? Because 3 and 4 are related to 5. But greatest lower bound is not possible in this case. Right? Greatest lower bound is not possible. Therefore, this poset is not a lattice. And once again, when we consider the example of 1, we cannot say 1 is the greatest lower bound because 1 should be related to all the elements. Basically, 1 is not related to 2, right? So we cannot have the greatest lower bound of 3, 4.